When our second child was about 18 months old, it started to become clear to me that there was something not right in the way he was developing socially. He'd started to talk, but then there were fewer and fewer words. And he was quite different to our other child in social play. If he'd get upset and that sort of thing, it was near impossible to settle him down. When he was nearly 2, we took him to a paediatrician who said that although he was unable to diagnose autism at that time, he thought that it was really likely. My husband and I both took him to that appointment, and we both cried in the car on the way home. But at that point in time, Phil was working a lot, so I just sort of, took it on board to started managing all the appointments and that sort of side of it. Over the next 2 years, we met with just about everybody, psychologists, occupational therapists, dietitians, nutritionists, and I even joined a mums group for young parents with kids with autism, which was, an important time for me because at that stage, Alex wasn't getting invited to any parties and he was having a lot of difficulties socially. So it was really good to have, other kids that he could play with and mums that we could sort of bounce off and share stories and that sort of thing. We met once a fortnight, which was good, but, outside of that, I was feeling sort of very much alone in the situation and what was happening for us and feeling very, very isolated. When he went to school, things actually became more difficult because, I'd be sort of up at the school as often as I could trying to get the teacher's attention, or vice versa. I would get called in because Alex had gotten really frustrated and hit some poor unsuspecting child. When he was in the first grade, both his father and I were up having a meeting and, as usual, she was just sort of firing questions and talking with me. But towards the end of the meeting, she turned to Phil and said, "What do you think?" And I was a little bit embarrassed by his response. He said, "I don't know. I know more about the other kids. My wife's the expert on Alex." She sort of didn't really, didn't seem too fazed by that. So I guess maybe she's heard that comment once or twice before. But it just made me feel a bit uncomfortable and sort of made me sort of stop and have a look at the reality of, our situation. And over the next couple of weeks, it sort of, occurred to me more and more that I'd really made a rod for my own back. Phil was there to support me, but I had just, become such an expert on Alex that I had really shut him out of the equation. And, to see him not confident to be able to engage the teacher in conversation like that, it was really a poor reflection on me and how I'd managed our family situation. I realised that I really had to invite Phil in. And, it didn't happen overnight. He had to sort of build up his knowledge, on Alex and dealing with kids with autism and that sort of thing again. But yeah, and I had to make a lot of changes too. I had to learn to relax a lot and relinquish, control of how I wanted everything sort of done with Alex. But once we sort of got in the swing of it, it felt great and life started to become really, really manageable. And I couldn't believe sort of how easy it was once we, got the changes in momentum. I even went back to work a few days a week, which was amazing. Yeah. If I could give one bit of advice to parents of young kids like Alex, I'd say, just whatever you can do, invite your partner in and if you can get them there, make sure you keep them in there.